mynews.studio.
Stacked fields are popping up where parking lots used to be. Is this what the future of city food looks like?
Today is June 22nd, 2025. Let's dig into vertical farming. Old warehouses in Richmond, Virginia, and even commercial spaces in Calgary, Canada, are turning into high-tech farms. Why is this shift happening now?
Urban populations are still growing, while traditional farming faces climate change and less available land. Vertical farming means growing crops in stacked layers indoors, often right where people live. It allows year-round production. Using hydroponics and aeroponics, these systems can use up to 95% less water than traditional fields. That's a big difference.
And no pesticides needed, right? With controlled environments, you avoid contamination and unpredictable weather. But can these city farms truly replace traditional farmland?
In terms of output per square meter, vertical farms are impressive. For example, one farm can match the yield of 10 to 20 acres of conventional land, all within a single building. Leafy greens, strawberries, mushrooms, these thrive indoors. Still, there's a question. Can we go beyond greens and actually address food security?
That's where diversification comes in. Take Singapore's Proteins for Singapore project. They're stacking not just plants, but also protein sources, mushrooms, fish, insects, even cultivated meat. The goal is to produce 30% of their nutritional needs locally by 2030. Do you think this can be scaled elsewhere?
The model is definitely getting international attention. Multi-layered protein farms can produce hundreds of times more protein per square meter than traditional fields. For dense cities worried about supply chain risks, that could be a real shift. But what about staple foods? Things like rice, wheat, or potatoes?
That's tougher. Staples need more room and have different growth cycles. Most vertical farms focus on high-value crops for now. But with automation, AI-driven climate controls, and new varieties bred for compact growth, it's possible in theory. Still, energy use is a big concern, isn't it?
Energy is the main hurdle. Artificial lighting, mostly LEDs, and climate control cost a lot, especially where renewables aren't common. Sometimes, the carbon footprint of vertical farms can be higher than outdoor farming, since traditional farms use sunlight. So, is vertical farming always more sustainable?
It really depends on the local energy grid. Where renewables are the norm, these farms can be quite sustainable, using up to 90% less water and much less land. But if the electricity comes mainly from fossil fuels, the benefits get complicated. Are there ways to cut these costs?
Yes, there are improvements in LED efficiency, automation, and circular systems. For example, using plant waste to feed mushrooms. Automation can lower labor costs. AI helps make every bit of water and energy count. Still, policy and good planning are crucial. What's working well so far?
Cities that include vertical farming in smart city plans tend to see better results. Things like tax breaks, research funding, and updated zoning laws help. Repurposing empty buildings, supporting public-private partnerships, and boosting education and research all play a role. Also, more people want local, organic produce, which helps demand.
A market for vertical farming is expected to grow from $4.8 billion in 2022 to $33 billion by 2030. That's a big increase. But the real test will be whether vertical farms can produce staple crops at scale and stay profitable.
So as cities adapt to climate pressures and population growth, will vertical farming become standard or stay a niche for specialty crops?
And can new tech and policy support make urban farming not just possible, but essential for future food security?
Those are the questions that will decide if vertical farming is a future blueprint or just a temporary solution.
Thank you for joining us as we explored how vertical farming is reshaping cities and the future of food.
If you're curious where your food might come from next, just look up at those city skylines.
Thanks for listening. This episode was powered by My News Studio. Try it now for free.